Hello everyone, welcome to Career Chronicles. This is Aishwarya Subakar. Today we have Karthik who's working in Ford. So we'll get to know about his journey, some tips and strategies in order to get into Ford. So before that, how are you, Karthik?
Hi, I'm fine, Aishwarya. How are you?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
how was your day?
yeah, it was great. So it was
Okay,
Sunday, but good. Yes, cool.
okay.
Yeah, great. So I hope we can just start up from your side with an introduction part.
Yeah, basically, I have pursued my BE in Sona College of Technology. I have completed in 2021. After that, I was doing some couple of interns in SmartBridge IBM. After that, I got an opportunity in Cognizant Technology Solution as an intern. After a couple more days, I got into Ford, which is a very good company, basically. And I was joined as a full stack developer there, and now around like 1.5 years of experience I have in food. And that's a small intro about myself.
Great, great. That was great. So how did you land into this job specifically?
Okay, to be frank with you, I was doing my Cognizant intern, where onboarding was little delay for me because my friends were into full time as employee in Cognizant Technology Solutions. So where I came across a poster in my placement group, like Ford is looking for some graduates. So I applied in Ford, and later I got selected into an interview. Before that, I was having a aptitude round plus coding round, where I able to crack that and I was get into it. Do you want to know more about the aptitude round and coding round?
Yeah, exactly. So it will
Yeah.
be helpful for us question on that.
Okay.
So just
Basically in
more
app.
on the rounds. Yeah.
Okay. Basically, in aptitude round, you will be having encoding, decoding. So they will give you a question of encoding string you want to decode, and the second was time, speed, distance. So they will ask the question based on time, speed, distance, unit digit, the last digit to be find, and some more basics aptitude questions. But all the questions was like very easy. Around you will have 20 questions. I believe I was able to answer 15. If you can able to answer 15 correctly, you will mostly have the possibility of getting into the next round. In the programming round, you will have two questions. uh, but basically the programming round would be very easy because you will have based on arrays. They will not even ask you on graphs like complex data structures, but array hash map things. So it was easy. Like for example, I will give you a question, where they will give you an array. So consider a test case 1 2 3 4 5. You have to print ascending, 5 4 3 2 1 descending. If something a 1 2 1 4 3 no order. This is a simple question. So you will ask like similar this type of very simple questions, and you can do easily in programming. And especially from my side, I am weak in aptitude, but I was strong during programming that time. So yeah. So when you are a graduate and looking for companies, what is the mistake I did was, I have not concentrated my weaker part, but I was keep on improving my programming skills. So if you are graduate, I would suggest you might know your strong and your weakness. So try to improve your weakness. Yeah.
Okay, so the part was like it was the coding round is quite easy, so you can crack
Yeah.
it. From your side, it's important that we focus on weaker part than the stronger part, right?
Yeah. So we have to. Yeah.
So, like, how did you prepare for the interview? What are the resources that you took? Things like that.
Okay. So W3 schools basically for SQL. If you want to be a SQL developer, if you want to strong at the back end, you can go for W3 schools, and you can learn lot of queries there. Secondly, okay, in my to be frank, how I started, I can say it. Basically, in my second year, I had an arrear. Like in my probability going theory, so I was careless. Like to be frank, in internals also I was good. Like I got 36 out of 40. But in the exam time, you many of them would know probability will lies between 0 to 1. but my answers was going beyond one, so I was striking more papers, and I got into an arrear. So I thought of, when I go to the placements, when I have and my competitor get into the final round, like the recruiter will think he's having an arrear, but whereas the other guy doesn't have. So possibility of not getting a job was high on my end. So I thought I have to do something. So I discussed with my seniors, and what can I do? What can the best I can do in order to get a good job? Like that part when I was fallen actually made me to realize like what are the things I am lagging behind and what are the things I have to improve. So they have suggested me to do codings on HackerRank. There I started like the one semester, around like 3 months I was continuously coding for 3 problems a day. I used to do solve 3 problems a day, where initially it was difficult for me, but later on I can able to easily solve problems. But the biggest mistake later I realized was I was solving the same type of problem again and again. For example, like array list, hash map, set. These things are very simple one, like you can do. Like I was solving on the same problem, but whereas I have not concentrated on linked list, graphs, and other data types like dynamic programming and other approaches I have not tried it. So if you are a graduate, try to solve different problems rather than going on the same type of problems. And I would strongly suggest lead code now, because when I was doing that HackerRank, now most of them are doing in lead code. And if you want a roadmap, there is a website called as Neat Code, where they will give you a clear roadmap on starting with arrays, linked list, graph, and they will two pointers and they will go on. So they will have in arrays, they will have 5 problems, linked list something around 6 problems, so that once you've done all the 11 to 12 would be, once you have done all that, you will have a strong confidence on yourself. If you are getting on different problem statements, suppose if you are getting a graph tomorrow, you can easily able to solve it. So I would suggest, if you are a graduate and if you are in your second year or in your third year, to start on this one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. So, did you do any research before getting into Ford? Do you believe that doing research is an important part before?
Yeah, correct. Basically, like I did not do that because I had Cognizant. I have did my intern and I was there, right? So I have not did for Ford, but my first offer was Data Corps, is a company in Bangalore. That was my first offer. So where I have did this research, like what is the company is doing, and what is the company is about. So they are a traffic management company, like something related to traffic they will do, and handling on data. From the name data crop, even you can understand like they are mostly on data part. So I was going through their websites and came to know like they what they are doing, and who is their CEO, and I was going through that. And I was when they will also ask you, the HR will ask you on the interview panel, like what do you know about our company. So you should be ready to answer that. And they will, in final interview, they will ask you like whether do you have any questions, so that if you know something about the company, you can also ask. For example, now recently you might know like LTD is one company and Mindtree is another company. Like Mindtree have taken over the LTD, so named as LTD Mindtree. So you can say like whether LTD was taken by Mindtree. If you're going for a Mindtree interview, yeah, they, and you can express that you are having an interest towards the company, so you will have a lot of possibility of getting into the selection panel. Yeah.
So, doing research is a good part before getting into the
Correct.
interview.
Correct.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
So, did you have any questions for the interviewer while?
Interviewer, yeah, basically in Ford, because I was having a Cognizant offer. So when the interview process was get over, they asked me the question. I was mostly into the development part, because before that in my college, I used to do app development, and later I'm a good at Python programming. So I was always concentrated on my development works. So I asked whether if I join Ford, So whether the type of work I would be getting, whether a development work or it's a support kind of thing, I was asking them, and they said me like mostly you will be getting a development work, but if you get a support, whether you will do ready to take up or not, was there from their side. And I said like I preferably like development works rather than support, because I feel I am personally improving towards development, and I can contribute much, and I will deliver a good and quality software for the company. So I answered that way. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, what are the required skills for your job roles that you're currently doing?
Okay, Racket. But before that, okay. But before that, I want to answer this question in a different way, because when I was in my college days, typically I feel most of them don't like coding part. So most of them think that going into IT, like only coding development works would be there, but not the case. Like you can be a logo designer if you are good at UI UX. You can be poster making also, you can do. Then product management is one other good skill. And then even in data part, you can be a data engineer, data scientist, a data analyst. And if you consider my role, full stack developer, where you can even split this role like front end developer, back end developer, and DevOps. So if not it's always related to coding, but someone, if they have real interest, they can pick that one. In my case, for this question, I would like to answer like for the back end, you want to be good at Java, like Java data structures, Java algorithm solving, and you have to be good at class and objects, like mainly the four pillars: inheritance, abstraction, polymorphism, and like that things you have to be good at. So yeah, you have to be good, and API developments like Spring Boot skills. For the front end part, you can be I'm so but to be generic way, you have to be good at front end one framework, back end one framework. In my case, front end I'm good at Angular. So Angular is a front end framework. I am good at Angular, where you will you know how to create a component, you know how to create a service. For backend, I am using Spring Boot. It's a Java framework. If you are good at one framework, you can easily get into a job. Yeah, and SQL especially. Yeah,
SQL is also important. That's great.
yeah.
So, what advice would you give to people who are just starting out? Maybe like we can just tell freshers who are just starting out. So, we freshers
Okay,
will have if thinking like which part to end, or which is the what is the roadmap kind of thing. So, what advice
okay,
would you give who are just starting out as a fresher? Yeah, without any experience,
okay.
basically.
Okay, so as a fresher, I would suggest go with C++, because generally that's where you will understand like how the programming was, and how it was developed further, going with that. And I would ask you to code daily. So because if you ask me, if you're a gym guy who is going gym daily, and if he stops for 2 to 3 months, he will not have his fitness. Similarly, the mind and the coding part also the same way. You may be good like 4 months, 5 months back, but if you leave it for 2 to 3 months, when you're starting, the speed, the accuracy, and the logical thinking would not be the same. So if you are a fresher, I would suggest you to code minimal one program a day, one program a day, and try exploring the things, and do it with passion. Like if you like programming, do it with passion, because some might have interest in UI UX. So first of all, I would say try to find out your passion, then later improve that area, and you will get a job. And most importantly, when you are going to the interviews, like show that you have an interest to join the company. Because basically like when because my friend is one, I want to share a story. Like my friend is also good at programming, where what happened was, like we were put into a technical round for the data corp prod. Data corps, the first company got selected, where I showed interest by sharing my screen, like I have did the Android app development, and I have explained the coding part and things. But in my case of my friend, he just answered their questions. Like they will ask like the SQL questions, but he was not got selected to the next round because the interest part. So mainly they will consider all like your attitude, your interest, and your technical answering. So they will see everything. But if you show interest towards the company, that is an added advantage point, so that you will be into the next round. Yeah.
So first point is like we need to find a passion. So if it's going to be coding, working daily on the coding part is important. On the other
Correct.
hand, how you project yourself on the interview is something that is very important to get
Yeah.
into the.
Correct. 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 And the third part would be the work on your weakness. In my case, I have not did like now I am working on it, but even in my past I have not did. Like for example, when I was in my 12th standard, I'm weak at Tamil language, like writing Tamil. So I even not worked on that. When I am in college, like aptitude, I was good at coding. Improving the coding skills, it's okay, but at the same time we have to work on our weakness. But in my case, aptitude, I learned, I did, but I have not improved as much important. So if you feel like if you're good at coding, try to improve on aptitude, because both are important. Yeah.
That's great. So thank you so much. I loved your way of elaborating each and everything, each and every question. So it was an awesome talk. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Yeah, thanks Aishwarya, and it was a nice talking with you, and have a nice day. Yeah.